Whether it's where we live, we work, or we play, emergencies are something we just can't avoid. Whether it's a weather emergency, a medical emergency, or a maintenance emergency, they always seem to creep up on us in some way, shape, or form. Preparedness is what we do ahead of time. We think about the potential risks that could impact us, and we think about ways that we can communicate, we can put resources in place, and we can practice so that when an emergency strikes, we are able to cope with the situation, to react to the situation, and to learn from the situation so that it doesn't hold us back any longer than necessary. I'm with Dawn Jacobs, the Jewell County Sheriff, and Dawn's going to help us think about some ways that we might be able to work through some roadside emergencies more effectively. So Dawn, can you please tell us maybe some safety tips that would help protect us and keep us safe in the event that we're in a roadside emergency?
Always, be aware of where you're going, plan ahead, let somebody know where you're going.
So if I am in a vehicle emergency and have to pull over to the side of the road, is it better to stay with my vehicle or to leave my vehicle as I'm seeking out help?
Stay with your vehicle.
Okay.
Definitely don't ever take a ride.
Okay, don't ever take a ride. So if I'm needing to give someone a phone call to ask for help, who in our region in north central Kansas should I contact?
I would call the sheriff's office, whatever county, or 911, and
okay.
they can help you out with what you need.
Okay.
So like if you hit a deer or something.
Are there certain questions the dispatcher might ask us that we kind of just want to be aware of?
She's going to want to know the name, your phone number,
okay,
the location, the nature of the incident, so that way she knows who to send, who not to send.
Okay.
But it's the best location you can give, the more accurate, the better.
When you're using a cell phone, does that automatically, like with location services, help dispatchers locate you, or is that not something that 911 can really utilize?
Yeah, 911 will pinpoint almost exactly where you're at.
Okay. So you as a commuter, we just want to be mindful of our surroundings, but in the event we are somewhere where we don't have those cues,
right,
the 911 dispatch system can help with using cell phones. Well, if we are getting ready to plan and prepare for a trip, who could we reach out to, if we're traveling across the state, to be able to get weather updates or road condition updates?
You can call 511, which is KDOT. They have all the highway and by regions, and listen to what they got to say. Best bet, stay current on the weather because it changes so fast, is on your cell phone. Download a good app that you trust and watch that. When
you guys respond to roadside emergencies, what types of things do you look for to help secure the situation?
How far are they on the road? How far do we got to be on the road? We always got to we always turn our lights on just for more visibility, make sure everybody's safe.
Okay. So if a commuter does have issues, it's best to get off as far off the road
as possible.
Okay. It's important to make sure that your personal and work vehicles have the right supplies to help you work through an emergency situation. So it's always important to make sure that you have a bright colored vest or bright colored flags so that you can tie this a flag to your antenna along with your reflective lights on your vehicle to inform people that you are along the side of the road and in need. And then if you do have to vacate your vehicle, which is like a last resort choice, but you have something that will protect you along the roadway so that people can see you. You also want to make sure in your vehicle that you have a first aid kit. You can purchase first aid kits, but you can also create your own first aid kit so that it meets the particular emergency risks that might be facing you along your certain route. You want to make sure that you have something to eat and some water in your vehicle in case you are stranded for a bit. In this time of year, you want to make sure that you have the right gear. So if you're in the winter time, you want to make sure you have some hats, gloves, and winter gear. In the summer, fall and spring, you might want to make sure that you have a lighter jacket so that if it's raining or gets chilly, that you have some protection. And it's always a good idea to make sure that you have at least one blanket in your vehicle to assist you. It's always a good idea to make sure that you have a fully charged cell phone in your vehicle when you're out and about, and to make sure that you have a way to charge that cell phone in your vehicle so that people can reach you. And speaking of communication with others, it's a really excellent idea to make sure that at least one person who is not traveling with you is aware of where you're going and aware of the route that you will be taking, so that if your cell phone does not work and you come up missing or stranded, that someone knows to be looking for you and where to start looking for you. Jumper cables are often helpful to have in your vehicle supply kit, as well as to make sure that your spare tire is properly inflated and that you have the proper jacks and tools to be able to install that should you need it. And if you're traveling in the winter time or in extremely wet conditions, it's also not a bad idea to have a little cat litter or sand in your vehicle to help get a little traction. Whether you're traveling in your personal vehicle or your work vehicle, it's important to make sure that you're doing regular mechanic care to your ride, and to make sure that not only your mechanic is checking for issues, but also that you know how to check to make sure that your brakes and your lights and your oil and your filters and your antifreeze and things like that are functioning properly. Those are all things that you want to be working well when faced with inclement weather or other roadside emergencies. Some vehicle safety tips that might be helpful in working through emergency situations that you might be faced with or avoiding them altogether is to get into the habit of driving with a gas tank that is more on the full end. This will help you not only if you're stranded, but hopefully you can avoid a roadside emergency altogether. It's important to make sure that your tires have the proper tread and are ready for the weather and the road conditions that you're going to be driving in. And so you can talk to your mechanic about what your potential weather and road risks will be, and make sure that you choose the proper tire to help you get through that situation. Always be cautious when you are driving in a flooded area or if there are power lines down, and know what risks might be involved. For example, if a power line falls on your vehicle, you pose risk of electric shock, and you do not want to leave your vehicle until first responders give you safe permission to do so. And so these are just awareness things that you need to be conscious of on the roadways that you're traveling. One of the most important emergency preparedness things when we're talking about commuting is to keep all members of your family involved in the conversation. So it's important that if you have young children, adult passengers, or often guests in your vehicle, that you guys are talking about things to pay attention to and to observe in the roadway, as well as making sure that everyone is aware of where your emergency supplies is located should anyone need to access it. Other things you can do as you plan and prepare for roadside emergencies that might face you throughout your commute is to always allow yourself plenty of time to reach your destination. Don't allow construction, a maintenance concern, or a significant weather change, which is pretty common in Kansas, to put you behind schedule. It's actually much more beneficial to you and all parties involved in your daily routine that you arrive safely, even if you're a little late, rather than you don't arrive at all because you are faced with an emergency. So take your time, and taking your time also is involved with the way that you drive on the road. So road rage is not something that helps you avoid emergency situations. You definitely want to be a defensive driver. You want to be aware of your surroundings so that you can react to a deer or something crossing the road, or you can react to other motorists on the road. But if you are distracted with a cell phone or a radio or a conversation in the vehicle, you are going to be less mindful of these situations and less likely to respond in the most effective manner. If you're wanting more resources or to have some deeper conversations about what you and your family might be able to do to prepare for the potential emergencies where you live, work, and play, please feel comfortable reaching out to your local Post Rock Extension District office with Kansas State Research and Extension. These offices are located in Mankato, Smith Center, Osborne, Beloit, and Lincoln, Kansas. I am Nora Rhoades, and I am your Family and Youth Development Extension Agent, and I am just one member of a wide and diverse and really strong team, and we can really help you dig into your potential risks and analyze ways that you might be able to prepare, to practice, and to feel comfortable with when that emergency will strike your life.